John Wick and The Matrix, two Keanu Reeves classics that are more alike than they are different, but which franchise is best? We're going to dive right into this hot discussion, but before we do, be sure to hit like and subscribe to CinemaBlend for more killer videos just like this. Get it? Because like, a lot of people get killed in those movies. When looking at these two somewhat similar characters, the important distinction to make is how they can relate to us, the audience. In The Matrix, we meet Neo, a fairly average Joe computer hacker who discovers this massive secret and follows a rabbit hole into a crazy, mind-bending reality of man versus machine. Neo is us, just a regular person living a regular life. And we get to follow him through each and every twist and turn of the story. When he's experiencing Morpheus's white room filled with anything your imagination can muster, or when he's learning martial arts by plugging into a computer program, we get to experience the surprise and wonder of this new world literally through his eyes, and that feels awesome. We can relate to him totally. In John Wick, we meet the character after a long career as a hitman. Most of the intrigue with this character are the little hints about who he was in the past and how we imagine him to have been. I mean, practically every other scene in the original John Wick is someone with a monologue feigning on and on about how badass this dude is. And he is, but the way we relate to him begins and ends with his loss, both of his wife and his dog. Damn it, they killed his dog! Beyond this, though, John Wick being a total badass is what really makes his character exciting for the majority of the franchise. Now, don't get me wrong, we can all easily relate to the need to kick some serious ass if someone ever touched your dog, but that doesn't compare to the constant feeling of discovery and wonder that we have alongside Neo, and then the excitement of watching him be a total badass. Here, Neo and the Matrix franchise take the win. You cannot overstate just how revolutionary The Matrix was for the action genre. In order to make the original Matrix film in 1999, they had to straight up invent new ways to perform and shoot action. In doing so, they created modern staples of the action genre like this bullet time effect. An effect you've seen again and again and again. Between these entirely new techniques and the influence of action directors like John Woo, The Matrix gave audiences an awe-inspiring set of visuals they had never seen before, and really still hold up to this day, 20 freaking years later. Yeah, can you believe it's been that long since we took the red pill? My god, I'm getting old. In fact, as we move over to John Wick, you can't really mention Keanu's latest franchise without giving credit to The Matrix. It's just that revolutionary. The big difference here, though, is that John Wick's action is extremely grounded. Yes, he's throwing guns across the room and never runs out of bullets, and sword fighting on a motorcycle and all that seems crazy, but it all still feels possible. That's what makes John Wick's action so impressive. It takes what was invented by the Matrix franchise, and with the help of another 20 years of upgraded technology, gives the audience an experience on a whole new level of badass because it feels like Keanu is doing it all for real. Like, for real. And for the most part, he actually is. Our winner here just has to be John Wick. I'm not gonna shock anyone when I say that the Matrix trilogy isn't all that satisfying plot-wise. The first film set the stage for a sleek, cool-as-hell world that was more ambitious and unique than pretty much anything in the genre before it, but throughout the trilogy, the story tends to fall flat, and at times can't really hold up to the promises the larger world built around it. The original Matrix is like no other, but we're comparing franchises, not a single movie, and story is where the Matrix starts to lose some ground. John Wick is a totally different story about one guy who's unbelievably overqualified for the ass-kicking he gives to his foes in a large, expansive world about a secret society of people that operate outside of the normal reality you and I know to exist. Wait, I see what you're doing here, Keanu. I see it! I see the Matrix.
How? He is the one.
Okay, but seriously, while broadly speaking, these two franchises anchor themselves in a similar flavor of badass, over the course of John Wick's trilogy, the world and underlying story is treated much better than The Matrix throughout its 3 films. With each installment, John Wick has continued to build out its underworld of assassins, each time bringing more to the table for audiences to chew on, but it never gets dragged down by weighty moral questions like the ones raised in The Matrix, or by this. John Wick keeps it simple where The Matrix just got too complicated for its own good, and by the 3rd film, it just fell apart. That means when it comes to story, John Wick is on top. So what is our verdict on which franchise is better? John Wick, from its over-the-top action that builds on the successes of The Matrix to its interesting world that it's been able to maintain over the course of 3 films, John Wick has proven that while he may not be able to take Neo one-on-one, his franchise is superior. Don't get us wrong, both trilogies are all-time cinema greats. Although the Matrix franchise hasn't released a film in over 15 years, its fan base remains strong, and it will forever be cemented as a revolution in the action movie genre. But that doesn't mean we're right. This is subjective, so let's keep the conversation going down in the comments by letting us know why you agree, or even better, why you disagree with our take. While you're at it, be sure to like this video and subscribe to CinemaBlend for more.